Welcome to Soul Stories, where every tale touches the heart, inspires the mind, and stays with the soul.
For me, or for you?
Alicia Carter had always believed that professionalism and hard work could silence any doubt about her capabilities. With more than 12 years of flying experience, thousands of safe landings, and a reputation for razor-sharp focus in the cockpit, she walked into the airport that morning with the same confidence she carried on every shift. Her navy blue pilot's uniform was perfectly pressed, her shoes polished, and her captain's wings pinned neatly on her chest. She was proud of the job she loved. The terminal was busy with the usual morning rush, rolling suitcases, boarding announcements, and the distant smell of fresh coffee, but Alicia kept her calm pace as she headed toward the crew counter to sign in for Flight 227. She rehearsed the flight details in her mind. We're already shifting into work mode, but the moment she stepped up to the counter, everything changed. The staff member behind the desk, a woman in her mid-40s with a stiff expression, didn't even give Alicia a chance to speak. Without lifting her eyes from the computer screen, she snapped sharply, "Passengers need to wait outside. The crew area is not for the public." Alicia blinked in surprise, unsure she heard correctly. She gently cleared her throat and replied, politely, "I'm the captain for Flight 227, I'm here to sign in." Only. Then did the woman look up slowly with disbelief etched across her face. Instead of apologizing or correcting herself, she rolled her eyes dramatically, as if Alicia had said something ridiculous. She pointed toward the exit again. "Ma'am, I said passengers need to wait. This area is for staff only." Alicia felt a heavy, familiar sting in her chest. It wasn't the first time someone assumed she wasn't the pilot. Her skin color and gender often made strangers question her role, but the blatant disrespect, the dismissive tone, and the public humiliation cut deeper than usual. Around them, a few people paused, sensing tension, their curious eyes adding to the discomfort. Alicia could have argued, she could have raised her voice or demanded to see a supervisor. But years of dealing with subtle racism and disrespect had taught her something important. Silence can be powerful, especially when the truth is recorded. Keeping her composure, she nodded slowly and stepped back from the counter. As she turned away, her fingers quietly slid over her phone screen, pressing record. The red light blinked on. If the staff member wanted to treat her like she didn't belong, Alicia would make sure the world saw exactly how she had been treated. Little did the airline know, this single moment was about to spark something much bigger. Alicia had barely stepped aside, quietly observing from a short distance, when the atmosphere in the crew area shifted abruptly. The mechanical hum of printers, the tapping of keyboards, and the casual murmur of conversation were suddenly interrupted by hurried footsteps. Her co-pilot, Daniel Hughes, tall, energetic man known for always running late, burst through the door, slightly out of breath. "Has anyone seen Captain Carter?" he shouted, scanning the room with urgency. The entire crew area fell silent. Every head turned. The staff members at the desk glanced at one another, confused. A few flight attendants froze mid-conversation. Even passengers walking past slowed down, sensing something unfolding. But the person who reacted the strongest was the same staff member who had just humiliated Alicia. Her face drained of color, her eyes widened, then darted around as if hoping someone would contradict what Daniel had said. Instead, Daniel spotted Alicia standing calmly near the wall and waved her over with relief. "There you are, Captain. We need to finalize pre-flight checks. I thought you were already signed in." Every pair of eyes in the room swung to Alicia. She walked forward with controlled confidence. She didn't raise her voice. She didn't accuse. She simply stood beside her co-pilot, allowing the moment to speak for itself. The staff member's mouth opened slightly, but no words came out. Her earlier arrogance was replaced with awkward silence. Just then, the shift manager, Mr. Brennan, approached. His expression was tight, clearly sensing the tension. "What exactly is going on here?" he demanded. Before Alicia could answer, the staff member jumped in, desperate to defend herself. She approached the counter without proper identification and caused confusion. "I thought she was a passenger trying to enter the crew area." Alicia lifted an eyebrow, her voice calm and precise. "I stated I was the captain. Twice." Instead of acknowledging the staff member's mistake, the manager crossed his arms and said stiffly, "Misunderstandings happen. Let's not escalate something small." The room shifted with discomfort. Several staff members exchanged uneasy looks. Everyone could sense the manager wasn't interested in truth, only in protecting his own. That was the moment Alicia understood something important. This wasn't just one woman's bias. It was a culture that allowed disrespect to grow unchecked. Without another word, Alicia pulled out her phone. She didn't threaten, didn't argue. She simply opened the file and sent the recording to HR and to the pilot's union representative. Then she waited, because she knew the truth had finally begun to move. It didn't take long for the situation to explode far beyond the walls of the airport. By the time Alicia completed the pre-flight checks and safely guided Flight 227 to its destination, the video she recorded had already begun spreading across social media. A passenger who had witnessed the confrontation had uploaded a short clip to captioning it, "This is why representation matters." Within hours, millions had seen it. Pilots, men, women, junior officers, veterans with decades of experience began sharing their own stories beneath the video. Many admitted they had stayed silent for years, fearing retaliation or accusations of overreacting, but Alicia's calm professionalism and undeniable proof gave them courage. Passengers joined in as well, were demanding answers from the airline. The hashtag respect our pilot started trending globally. News outlets picked up the story, replaying the recording on television and online platforms. Some anchors praised Alicia's restraint. Others criticized the airline's track record of previous complaints. By the next morning, the airline CEO called for an urgent internal investigation. The tone of his public statement was carefully crafted, apologetic but vague. "We take this matter seriously," he said. But the public wanted more than empty corporate words. The investigation began with a review of security footage. What they discovered was worse than they expected. The video clearly showed the staff member looking directly at Alicia's uniform, her captain's stripes visibly and still blocking her. Another frame caught her smiling politely at a male pilot who approached after Alicia and letting him through without hesitation. This was not a misunderstanding. Digging deeper, the investigators uncovered old internal emails where the same staff member made dismissive remarks about unqualified hires and diversity hires, trying to act superior. It painted a disturbing picture, but the investigation didn't stop there. Other employees, finally feeling safe to speak, stepped forward with stories. A black flight attendant who filed 3 complaints that went ignored, a Latina pilot who was repeatedly passed over for promotion despite flawless evaluations, a ground crew member who overheard supervisors joking about certain employees not looking like leaders. Each testimony added weight to a concerning truth. Alicia's experience wasn't isolated. It was part of a deeper systemic problem. The union quickly stepped in, demanding accountability and transparency. They insisted on being included in every phase of the investigation. National news outlets escalated coverage, inviting aviation experts, lawyers, HR professionals, and former employees to discuss the airline's internal culture. Public pressure intensified. Advertisers began questioning their partnerships. Shareholders demanded emergency meetings. The airline was cornered, its reputation was crumbling, and all eyes were on how it would respond next.
Strategy is clear and our goals are within reach. Together, we will navigate through any challenges and soar to new heights.
By the end of the week, the pressure on the airline had grown to a level no corporation could ignore. What began as a single humiliating interaction had escalated into a nationwide conversation about discrimination within aviation. Activists, pilots, unions, and even government officials were demanding accountability. The airline's public relations department was working non-stop, but every attempt to calm the storm only made the public more furious. Finally, after days of mounting outrage, the truth became undeniable. The internal investigation confirmed everything Alicia already knew. The mistreatment wasn't a mistake. It was a culture that had gone unchallenged for far too long. Faced with lawsuits, public boycotts, and the threat of losing major business partners, the board of directors made a drastic decision. For the first time in the company's history, the airline would shut down operations for a full day. Thousands of flights were cancelled. The financial loss was enormous, and the news made global headlines. But the shutdown wasn't just symbolic. Inside the headquarters, a massive restructuring was underway. Emergency anti-discrimination training was mandated for every employee, from the newest intern to the highest executive. The staff member who disrespected Alicia was fired immediately, and so was the shift manager who had defended her. Several other supervisors were suspended pending review. A public apology was issued, this time not vague or polished, but direct and personal. We failed Captain Alicia Carter. We failed many others, and we will rebuild our company with honesty and integrity. But Alicia wasn't interested in apologies alone when she was invited to meet with the CEO and the board. She didn't walk in as a victim, she walked in as a leader who understood the responsibility of her voice. She laid out her demands clearly. Transparent hiring practices, fair and unbiased evaluations, strict disciplinary action for discriminatory behavior, a diversity oversight committee with real authority, support programs for underrepresented pilots and trainees, The room was silent as she spoke. No one dared interrupt her. It wasn't about punishment for her. It was about protecting the next generation of pilots, the ones who shouldn't have to fight to be seen. The CEO, humbled and visibly shaken, finally asked her the question everyone wanted answered. Asterisk Captain Carter, after all we've done, what more do you want? Asterisk Alicia paused, looking directly at him. Asterisk her voice was steady, strong, and unforgettable. Asterisk I want a world where no pilot has to prove they belong in their own uniform. Asterisk and for the first time since the scandal began, the CEO not out of obligation, but out of understanding. The airline implemented every reform she demanded. Policies changed, asterisk leadership changed, culture changed. Alicia's courage didn't just expose a problem asterisk, it reshaped an entire industry.